All right, here we are looking at PowerPoint, which is pretty well the last thing we're going to be looking at in this course as far as a actual tool goes. I deliberately chose to have PowerPoint as the last thing. I wanted us to go, well, Notepad or what was it? OneNote is actually a very interesting tool, so I think I'm okay with the amount of time we spent on OneNote. I'm actually using it a lot right now in my current job. And then we went to Word. And then, Word had its moments. Then we went to Excel. Excel maybe had its moments for you guys. And then finally, Access. It could have been a rough ride. I don't know. But here's the deal with PowerPoint. PowerPoint is actually a pretty easy tool to use. It is something again that you guys are likely going to be using. If not in your academic settings, you might be using it in your office settings as well, or even sometimes, people. So I mean, by the way, you Mac users out there have plenty of other options, but if you're a Windows person, this might be the thing that you end up putting your wedding videos to. And sadly, I've made quite a few funeral ones with PowerPoint as well. So anyway, it is definitely a tool that can have a lifelong use. And so I thought, this is a great way to sort of end the video portions. I am going to go through again, at least the first two modules, maybe even the third. But here's the thing. Normally I actually go through the whole thing first and catch whatever the weird stuff is. But this time, boy, I tell you, going through this module was boring as all get out in the beginning because a lot of it is repeat. A lot of it is repeat, like for example, oh my goodness, what's the ribbon going to be like? And, how do you save and how do you print and all that? So I'm going to just wing it. I'm going to go through just as if I would if we were in the classroom together. And let's just sort of go through this thing. One thing I have done, which just so you know, when I open up PowerPoint, typically I end up accidentally, well, not accidentally, I have the designer view going. If you have sort of a screen like this, feel free to turn it off or not. I don't know, whatever. Designer screen is pretty good too. I hope you're getting at this point that experiment with these tools, screw around with these tools. You'll learn a lot more from actually flubbing than you will from just going through it. So as we look at this, it's going to basically say what's PowerPoint, and basically PowerPoint is Grant, before you just blow that one off, let's have a look here. It's a full-featured presentation app, is basically what it's going to say. It's what you're going to use to present stuff. So you might have, for example, if you wrote a paper on something, like what I'll have to do actually, I will have to present a paper. I have my paper, which is done in Word. I will have a presentation, which will be done in PowerPoint. All right. So it's a presentation tool. And we're going to basically build something like this. We're going to build sort of at least for this module, a PowerPoint that looks a little bit like this, right? With all these fabulous pictures which I hope I've actually gotten in advance. So we'll see what happens. All right, so starting is talking about how to basically fire it up. And of course, it's going to depend on your implementation. I've already got mine fired up already. You'll notice that the default name is presentation one. Actually, I don't want to get too far yet. Let's see this. Okay, the PowerPoint window. You got this is sort of the zooming window. We only have one slide currently, which is currently got the default. What else do I want to talk about here? So you'll see eventually a list of slides going along the side. It says scroll bar, but that's because we're not zoomed in enough. I think if we zoom in more, I don't know. Yeah, try to remember when that scroll bar actually kicks in or not. But anyway, yeah, we'll just leave that topic for now. Okay, but what I do want to point out is the ribbon, and I think they're gonna go through that song and dance about how the ribbon here will change depending on what you are, what menu option you have. So we're at home. If you're in insert, of course, the ribbon changes. If you're on transitions, the ribbon changes. So just be aware of that because that's one of the ways that you're probably going to get all screwed up. And of course, you can collapse and if you need more space, you can basically modify this so that the buttons are smaller and so on. All right. So now let's get to this thing here saying to display a different tab on the ribbon. Yes, I've kind of talked about that. So here's like, for example, design. And of course, I'm going to look a little bit different because I'm switching things, but you'll see that basically these are the same sort of images that you're seeing there. So again, as you choose each menu option, it'll change. Also, as you're going through all of these, notice that there are other ways to do some of these things. I am actually showing you most of the ways that I'm actually very comfortable with, and also more often than not, what the book is actually comfortable with. All right, so we're going to create a title slide, right? And so one of the things it's basically saying is, hey, you could go with this boring theme, or we could actually pick another theme. And that's kind of what these were up here. So what I want to do here is um, in a minute, we're going to pick the actual theme. Actually, I did see this in advance. I want to make sure I highlighted this. It's basically saying here that when you're putting your content on the slides, you don't want to have too many words on the slides. I don't know, there's been so many accidents and bad things that have happened by people dumbing down the slides too much, but they're basically arguing that you should be using a 7-7 rule here, which is basically saying that you should have at most 7 paragraphs, quote unquote, and each paragraph should have a maximum of 7 words. I'd argue that it should probably be 7 sentences, and each one should have 7 words. We're not going to try Gemini. Thank you. Thank you for that. Let's move on to next now. Are we now getting to the theme? Yes, we're now actually getting to the theme. So we're going to pick a wonderful theme for this. And I think what we're going to do is pick what is that? The desired theme. Okay, so we're going to go design, pick this thing, and I'm going to pick the one that looks closest to it. There it is. There's my theme. So now right there, by the way, my designer's kicking off. I'm saying, please don't do that, which is too bad. I usually use the designer quite a bit, but right now we don't know enough to use the designer. So what I want you to notice is that as we start to add more slides, the color code has actually been chosen for us now, right? So when we pick a theme, it's going to basically change the look and feel, the fonts, the look and feel of all the things on all your slides. And so I think that's about it. Yeah, this whole point here was just to basically change the theme. So we did that. Now we're going to start to actually add a title. So by default, you get the first slide is going to be, click to add a title, click to add a subtitle. That's all up to you, by the way. When you actually insert a slide, when you insert a slide, you actually have a bunch of different choices, right? So of course the default is title slide, but there's plenty of other choices to go along too. But in this case, we're going to basically put in the title, manage your passwords. You just basically click into your title. You go manage your passwords. All right. And then we scroll on. Oh, that's it. That's it for this page. All right. So good. But now we're going to do the subtitle next, right? Subtitle next. All right. Oh, and this is where I'm just going to start to get mad because it's not loading the picture. All right, when it does things like this, I'm going to sort of pause the video and let the textbook catch up. So this is what's made making these videos really exciting for me. Loading of the pictures. I know I've got pretty decent internet. I know that. I also know I got people at home using the internet, but I got pretty decent internet. This thing, when it was loaded, this picture was looking like it was dial-up. For any of you that remember that, probably none of you do. It's just basically one line at a time. Now this guy has chosen not to load at all. So, I'm sure some of you understand my feelings towards mind tap a little bit here. What I'm going to just do, I'm pretty confident I know where this is going to go. This is a text that's going to go into the subtitle. So let's just do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on in the area here. Notice it blanks out again. This is where the subtitle is. And I'm going to call it the importance of online security. Great. Now, what I want to know, that's it. Okay, so that's all I want there. Great. So now we're going to move on next. See what exciting picture doesn't show up. All right, so we can zoom in and out as many times as necessary until it basically has 90% on its face. So right now we're at 60%. We're going to zoom in. 1, 2, 3. We're at 90%. Scroll bar is important here as we kind of move back and forth. Great. Sure, and of course, by the way, you could drag this up. So now we're going to go next. Formatting the characters. So the theme, as was the case in Word and Excel, not so much in Access. The theme basically determines the color scheme, the fonts, and the layouts. So as we go here, we're going to start basically changing the font, and I know what they want us to do, I'm pretty sure, is to change this font. Because that doesn't look like what the initial slide looked like, but let's see what happens. Let's go, oh, by the way, saying the default is 20. I go here and I go home, I can kind of see what it is. Yeah, 20, right? So if we go next, we're basically saying, hey, triple click on this paragraph, which is going to highlight the whole thing to select it. Okay, boy, again, like one whole page for that. Okay, so you just double click that, or, oh, wait a minute. No, I'm sorry. You know what? That's a good point. Triple click. If you triple click, now you can basically get this dialogue here. Now I'm thinking that's only going to be for this though. I'll tell you another way to do that is just sort of just highlight the whole thing, and then you can in theory right click as well, and it comes up that way as well. So anyway, that's awesome. Okay, well that was my other ways. Beautiful. So what do you want me to do here with this? I think you want me to make it all italics. Okay, sure. So I'm going to make it all italics. Clicking in here again. Oh, highlight the whole thing. Going to make you all italics. There you go. Great. Still 20. And I think that's all it wanted me to do there. Increase the font size. That's kind of what I've been waiting for. You want it to be 32. So I'm going to right click on this guy again. Oh, come on. Right click and make it 32. Beautiful. Let's go back and have a look at it. Looks good. Wish it could look like what it says there, but that's fine. Just going to move on with my life. Uh, okay. We want to emphasize a word. Sure. So basically, position the pointer somewhere on the word to select. In this case, security. So I'm going to basically choose security. Double clicking on it is the way to go there. We go next. Look, change the color. What's the color that you want? Font color to be the gallery, which includes theme colors or whatever. Point to the colors in the gallery and watch the word change color. Yellow is where you want me to go. Okay, so over here. Oh, you know what? Again, let's do it here. We'll do it here too. So as I move around here, it should be changing its color. Do you see how it changes its color? It's beautiful. They want it to be yellow. All right, good deal. Anything else going on here? Nothing of consequence. Zoom. Okay, I've modified the subtitle on slide 1, so I can now zoom out to see more of the slide. Yes, that sounds right. So let's zoom out. Now we can see the slide. Do you want me 70%? 70%. Beautiful. All right. Save it for the first time. So now it's time to save it. So, of course, it's not saved yet. That's why none of this stuff is grayed. So that's why it's grayed. So we're going to go File, and we're going to go Save. I'm going to go Save As is what I'm going to do. And I'm, as usual, just throw everything to my downloads, which is ridiculous, but that's what I'm going to do. And what was the name? Was there a name you wanted for it? I want a name. Okay, so that's all the navigation. Save it, save add. Oh, we're calling it passwords. All right, so I'd like it to be called passwords. Beautiful. And it's going to save it as a PowerPoint presentation, which means it'll have an extension of PPTX, probably. We're going to go save, and now it's in my downloads. Here, if I do this, you can see it's called passwords. And now I have the ability to save it at any point, and of course I can turn on my autosave as well. Okay, thank you. Let's go on to next, I think. All right, cool. Look at that all over. So now we're going to add a slide with a bullet list. Boy, I sure hope the images start loading up because I haven't seen what this one's going to look like. I'm going to go next. Oh, thank goodness. We got at least a hint. There it is. Okay, good. So we're going to add a slide. So I'm going to go to the home. All right. We're going to go new slide. So let's go home. And in this case, slides. Yeah, new slide. Why does that look a little bit different than it did before? Oh, you know what? Because I'm probably focused here. If I get the focus off. Nope. Nope. No idea. All right. That's fine. Anyway, so we're going to go new slide. And insert a new slide with the title and content layout. So that's what this one is. So we're going to go. Now we have our new slide with the title and content layout. All right. Of all the things here that's kind of important, I do want you to know that because it's something right now we only got two slides, so you kind of know which one you're looking at. But just notice again, this is kind of highlighted here, right? This is highlighted here. That's how you know where you kind of are. And then some of these other ideas, basically, there's things we could insert directly in here, or I think what we're going to be doing is just putting a bunch of text in there. But later, I believe we get a little bit more fancy. Right? You didn't want me to put any text in here, right? You did not. There's nope. New slide button, control M, sure. Beautiful. Next. Correcting mistake when typing. Well, of course, you can backspace and enter. So wonderful. I mean, it's just like a Word document. Creating a multi-level bullet list. Do you have a picture? So maybe not, but what we're going to basically do is probably have a main bullet, and then there's another bullet underneath, and we'll probably indent it to basically indicate it's multi-level. Boy, load me up. Nope. Nope. No image. No image to go from, but that's okay. We're gonna go click on the ad title and we're gonna anticipate. We're gonna use our intelligence. I think it's strong passwords. So let's do this. And actually, yeah, strong passwords. Beautiful. Big deal. Okay, yeah, thanks for helping me out. All right, we're gonna go. Okay. So and then do not press enter. Okay. I go, yeah, it says don't press enter because if you press enter, it's going to basically put another line in the title thing. That's why I say don't press enter. That's it though, right? Okay, next. Click on the label. Click to add text. So we're going to do that. Boom. He's ready. And I don't think I'm missing anything here. Okay. You really are going to do this. Okay, that's good. That's good. We'll anticipate this. We'll see what happens. So it wants me now to basically put in don't use personal information. Right? Remember, this is the whole password thing. So don't use lowercase personal information. Beautiful. All right. And then, look, we got a picture. Okay, finally. Good. So here's a picture. Don't use information. Now, here's the thing. If I just hit enter now, this bullet is at the same level as this bullet. So it's sort of a main bullet. What it's telling us that we can do, and this is actually a pretty important skill here, is we can go and, in this case, paragraph, and I can push it over or indent it, and watch what happens to that bullet. It's now moved over. It's now a sub-bullet of the first bullet. All right? And so now what do they want us to do? They want us to type in avoid names. Okay, so avoid names, birthdays, and addresses. Beautiful. All right, so now it's the second level. Okay, if by the way you decide at some point you want to promote, it's the same kind of idea. I'll demo this just to show you, so you can go paragraph and you can bring it back and make it a main. Notice the color, the size of the font changes. We're going to basically again indent it. That's going to demote it. Good deal. It says, can you delete? Of course you can delete. And by the way, another way to do this typically is to hit tab as well. All right, so now we move on to this one. Type the remaining text. Use numbers, letters, and symbols, and then press. Oh, okay. Is that a main one? I'm thinking that's probably main. So I'm gonna push hit enter. Oops. Nope, wrong spot. Where am I here? That's where I need to be. I'm positioned at the end of that bullet. So I do this. I hit enter. It's now still a sub bullet. I think these are all main bullets. So I'm going to basically go. What I could do is I could do it the way I've just shown you, which is to go and click on this button, decrease, or Shift tab will promote it. It'll push it back. So I'm going to go use Grant, use letters, numbers, and symbols. If I'm wrong, is that how you spell symbols? What do you spell symbols like that? Okay, I'm just whatever. I'm doing it. That's what I'm doing. Oh, no, no, look at that. So it says type that and then press enter. Note in this step, the word symbols have been misspelled intentionally. Oh, jeez. Okay, sorry. Sorry, instructors. Okay, yeah, I'll type that wrong. Okay, then I'm going to demote the paragraph to second level. I've lost track now of which one should be which. So I'm right now just going to type this all in one thing, in one level, and then fix it when I hopefully see a picture. Okay, randomize sequences. These are all good advices, by the way, for getting your passwords going. All right. Oh, no picture. Oh, God. Okay. Well, so we're not supposed to use the personal information. It says use letters. Okay, so you know what? If you use letters, numbers, and symbols, I think mixing the case is probably a sub paragraph or sub bullet. So I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to assume that's right. We'll see if it's going to work later. All right, I think we're good. And by the way, it says, hey, how would you? Oh, you got an extra bullet. How do you remove it? Well, you just backspace over it, and now you're back. All right, so let's go ahead, go next. Oh, look at that. Oh, no, randomize was supposed to be part of the mix. All right, sure. Wonderful. All right, so now select a group of words. Okay, so you just want me to do this? Okay, so gonna highlight this personal and information like I would in Word. And then what do you want me to do? Drag the pointer to the last thing to be selected. Okay, good. I just did that. So now what? You want me to bold it? Oh boy, I don't know if you guys would have figured that out, but there you go, bolding it. So that's how you bold. I right clicked in my case, but there's probably other choices as well. All right, increasing font size. So again, I'm going to right click here and I can click on this as I would in Word to increase or decrease. Okay, so there's that. And underlining. So randomize is going to be underlined. Okay, so we're going to double click on randomize and click on underline. Good deal. And using slides, changing layouts, changing themes. Okay, so we got ourselves our two slides here, and so what it's talking about now is uh, like I think in a minute, yeah, looks we're about to start adding pictures and things, right? So at any point, like when you're bringing in a new slide, remember you got a bunch of different templates to choose from, right? And then hopefully what we're going to start seeing is we start adding some of these other objects to it, because right now it's just basically been text. We'll see the impact of the actual slide layout. All right, so we're going to basically go the text on slide 3, and thank God you gave me a picture. So what are we trying to do? New slide, layout, comparison, layout desired for slide 3. Okay, so do this. I'm clicking on slides, clicking on new, going on comparison, and there's my slide 3. Awesome. Down here saying, hey, look, you're actually being told how many slides you have. I'm on slides 3 of 3. I think that's about all I really want to say there. Now I'm going to type in the title of this one, which is Common Password Security Threats. All right, threats. Oh, common is spelled wrong again. I gotta follow that. All right. Anything else? It's interesting. They're okay, whatever. Okay, in the left heading a placeholder with label, click add text, and then we're going to type in key logging. So key logging software. Cool. And on the right, it's going to be phishing scheme. Awesome. You scroll on down. That's what it's going to look like. I think we're good for that figure. Next. All my pictures are all coming. That's beautiful. All right, we're going to select phishing, and then what do you want me to do to that? You want me to go, okay, trebuchet body. Is that what you want? Or are you just showing me? Oh, you want me to change it to Georgia. Georgia font. Okay, sure. So we're going to go to Georgia. Your font list may vary from my font list, so don't freak out if it's different, but you definitely have Georgia. So I'm going to go Georgia. And of course, we can experiment. Wonderful. Select the words keyword logging in the placeholder is what we're calling that. Font arrow to display the font, and then right click. I'll see. No, I'm going right click. Sure. Anyway, that's the way I would do it. So go ahead. We're going to change this to Georgia again. Actually, because I just picked Georgia, that shows up in the recently used. Cool. We're going to add a slide with the title only. So I guess we're not doing anything with this yet. Did it say what we're supposed to do with that? It did not. All right. So we're just going to leave it then, and we're going to go and keep going. All right. So now we're going to add a slide with the title only layout. So again, up here, new slides, title only, not title slide, but title only. Okay. Well, it's looking like we're following it. All right. Beautiful. Next guy is give it title or do the thing. So do the text. Different passwords for every account. Wonderful. Do not press enter because that'll give you a new line. All right. The Berlin theme applied to the presentation is simple. It does not have many design elements. The following steps change the theme for the presentation because we want to make it even cooler. So we're going to go to the design, right? And so design, thank you. And we go to themes. And let's just, what theme did you want me to pick? You want me to pick Ion theme. All right, Ion theme. No, 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 no. Boy, I tell you what, let's just do this. If we do this, it might line up a bit better. There we go. So I'm thinking that if I was king of the world, I would still probably have a hard time trying to find an Ion theme. Is this Ion theme? That's Ion theme. Okay. Point to that. Okay, good. We're not going to, again, please keep changing if you want, but I'm going to click on Ion theme. Notice that all these guys have now changed. Now, forget the designer. Don't worry about that. So now they all look different. Beautiful. We've changed our theme. Okay, PowerPoint windows display varying on the view. The view is the mode in which the presentation appears on the screen. So, actually, where are you going? Okay, I'm not sure where you're going to go on this one, but I'll tell you that you can, going to view here is one way to start changing the way we look at this PowerPoint. There's also some basic ones down here. We are right now in the normal view, and that's what the thing is trying to say. So moving to another slide in the normal view, what are we going to do? We're going to go to 4, drag and scroll up until we see slide 1. Oh, okay. So it's basically saying, hey, you can go up here. Now, how are you doing this with the control? Yeah, I don't know. Press and hold the mouse button so slide 4 appears in the slide indicator. Okay, beautiful. Drag the scroll bar up. Oh, they're talking about this thing. So now as we drag it up, we're going to all the different slides. This scroll bar did not show up in the beginning because we only had one slide. Definitely lots of different ways to navigate on here. Also, by the way, page up, page down. That's another way to do this. All right, finally, we're going to get to some cool stuff. Oh, look at it. Doesn't that look beautiful? I think it looks kind of charming a little bit there. All right, so we're going to actually start adding some pictures now. We're going to add some pictures and give a little bit of thought as to what that could look like. All right, so if we're going to add some pictures, we're going to go to slide 1, and there's an insert, and there's an images. And so we're going to click on insert images, and we're going to go click on there. Okay, pictures from gallery, which I think is this guy. Oh, let's see. Insert pictures. Okay. All right. What do you mean pictures from gallery? Yeah. Oh, insert picture from. Sorry, this is the gallery. So insert pictures from this device. I'm going to click on this. Now here's where it's going to be probably a bit different. I'm going to give you guys these images, all right? And they are, I'll just give them straight to you, but you're going to hopefully see whatever images are important to this. So in this case, I'm going to insert this image, correct? That's what I'm going to do. All right, so and I'm going to click the insert button, and there's that image. Now, again, my designer is really trying to help me out, saying, hey, look, this is all the cool things you can do with that image. Definitely, as you start using this more professionally or in desperation because you don't have enough time, this is where you can kind of get the designer to do some really cool stuff, right? But in this case, we're not doing that. We're not using the designer. All right. So now what we want to do is we want to insert a button into the slide, which we did. This is not how it's going to end, though. Right? It's not how it's going to end. Aren't we going to do stuff to it? Or we got to make it look better than that. Okay. Well, I'm thinking we will. Insert another picture into the slide without a content placeholder. So this next step will add the notebook in the handwritten passports, the slide 2. So I think you meant that one. I think. Click on, no, maybe not. Click on slide 2. All right. In this, to display slide 2. Insert ribbon. Oh, no, you're right. You're right. I can't believe I doubted you. Okay. So insert images, pictures from device. Hopefully it remembered where it was. You still want this guy, notebook JPEG. All right, this is making me wonder, did I have, okay, stop it. Stop it with the design thing. I know you're just trying to be helpful. I get it. I get it. I think, did I have the wrong one? Did I put the wrong one in there? That's the wrong one. That's what I did wrong there. So let's go insert picture from device. I want security. Oh man, there you go. Okay, good. Now I feel a titch better about life. Okay, so let's go forward. And so now we got that as the picture. Okay, can you say I messed this up? So here's the deal. Let's imagine you messed this up and you put these two pictures on different slides. What you can do is I can take this picture, select it. I can go Control X and I'll take it out. I'm going to go up to this guy. I'm going to move him a little bit over. I'm going to go Control V and put this picture where it's supposed to be. I'm going to go over here to the picture, the big picture. I'm going to go Control X. I'm going to go down to here. I'm going to go Control V, and now he's in the spot. Now I think, okay, you're really getting my goat here. Okay, so select that, insert. All right, wonderful. I think we're good. I'm right now just going to shrink it a little bit. I'm wondering if maybe some of that was messed up, but it's okay. We're going to have to do some stuff anyway with this. Next, okay, so now we're going to go to slide 4 and get another picture. I'm going to spend extra special attention paying to what the heck the thing wants. You want monitoring. Monitor is what you want. Okay, are you on the right slide? No, you're not. Let's make sure you're on the right slide before you do that. All right, so monitor. Good. Good. Are we happy with that? We're happy with that. I'm going to go next. Oh, well, what did you say? You said at the bottom here. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. If the design is displayed, click the stop suggesting until I restart PowerPoint. There you go. Geez, boy. If you actually read, if you read what the textbook was telling you, you caught that. Anyway, okay, so now we're going on slide 3. Slide 3 uses comparison layout, right? So we want to be able to display two images. And so we want basically one image to go there, one image to go here. So we're going to click on the pictures icon. Now, again, that's what these are. These are little icons. So here's a picture. I can click on the picture. Notice this guy is kind of like the other device, the other menu. And now I'm going to go pick key logging. It looks like key logging. And I'm going to go insert. And so there he is. And then the next guy has the same thing, right? That's fishing. So we're going to click on this thing from device, fishing. Look at that. Beautiful. It's just, it's wonderful. Now we want to resize photos and illustrations, and I kind of sort of alluded to that when we are looking at some of these other dialogues. So let's start resizing. So slide one is really gross. Slide one is really gross. What we want to do, we highlight it. We got basically the ability to resize, and we also have the ability to pivot. All right. If at any point it gets out of control, remember you got Control Z to undo your horrendous mistake. So if I don't know this, is I don't know what I just did. Control Z we'll drop it back. All right. So now what do they want us to do? They want us oh my God. Okay, sure. Sure. I mean, you could do that. So if I basically click on this picture and where we are, picture format up here. So you actually have the ability to mathematically, which is what it's saying here, you can actually change the dimensions. You really can. You can do that if you want. The other thing too, by the way, I should point out is that your arrow keys also work. And the reason your arrow keys work is sometimes they're a little bit more subtle. They're almost pixel per pixel. The ability to move it it's a little bit more fine. All right, so you're going to basically say, hey, change this to 4.2 and 7.35. The vast majority of the time, I've never played with it at this level, right? I've just eyeballed it, but you know what? It's fine. I can do what it says. So 7.35, for the benefit of education, I can do that. All right, so now that's what it looks like. Beautiful. Okay, is there another thing I'm supposed to do here? I'll return to that in a minute, but let's go now over to slide 4. Slide 4, drag the corner outward until the picture is resized. Sure. Okay, I will do that. Notice, by the way, it tries to keep the scale or the dimensions on the corners. It does. If you start picking on the edges, it does not. So, for example, if I do this by accident, now I've just stretched it. But if you pick a corner, it'll try to keep it all kind of aligned. And is it 4 by 6? All right, I don't know. Yeah, 5.6 and 8.4. Sure. Moving, clicking, and you can just move. And again, as I said, you can do your arrows or you can do your mouse. All right, so let's go to the personal one here. I'm going to move this over, and I think what I'm going to do is just shrink it. So I'm going to take this guy using the corners, shrink, move it up. That looks about right. I'm pretty happy with that. With this thing, move it up. Oh, it looks like they want the whole corner. So do this. Again, I can grab a corner, shrink. That looks beautiful. Oh, we're going to put a new one in here. We're going to put a key. That's awesome. So we're on slide 1. We're going to go insert pictures. So insert images, pictures from the device. And we're trying to find key. There's our key. And what do you want me to do with the key? What do you want me to do with the key? All right, well, let's just see what we want me to do. Position the mouse pointer. Wonderful. You want me to rotate? Oh, you want me to rotate on the side? Sure. So again, rotating on the side. I'm going to move it up to here because I think that's where it's going to go. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe it's going to go over here. I'll tell you what, I'll put it right there. That sounds great. Notice too, yeah, that's a good point. Every now and again, I guess I didn't really see it here, but it might actually snap when it thinks it's actually sort of horizontal. You might actually get lines telling you how far to the left or to the right and all that. The PowerPoint is trying to basically help you line things up. All right. Non-proportionally resizing picture on slide 2. Okay, so let's go to slide 2. And we'll click on this thing, and what are you telling me to do here? So with the selection rectangle displayed, point to the middle sizing handle on the bottom edge so it changes to a 2 arrow. Yes, it does, right like that. Okay. You want me to stretch it? Is that what you want me to do? You want me to stretch it? Okay. I'm stretching. I can stretch it. There it is. It's been stretched. Beautiful. All right. To move a slide in normal view. So imagine you've now put these slides together, and I'm just going to relook at them. My goodness, they're beautiful. You know, we have some spelling mistakes, which it knows about, or the book does. But now, if you want to reorder some of these slides, um, the way I would do it, yes, drag and drop, is you can basically click on a slide, and if you just drag it up, it reorders the slides. All right. And it looks like that's what they want us to do. So we'll do that. Okay, time to save it. So right now it's already been saved as PowerPoint. So if it's the same name, we can just, by the way, what happens a lot of times if again, remember it's all focused, right? So if I'm on an image, or if I'm just on something, I don't know. Either way, sometimes these are grayed out. So sometimes what you need to do is just sort of get off so it knows that, oh, I know what was happening. It was here. No, I still, no idea why it was blocked out there. But either way, I'm going to click on save, and now passport has been saved. Control S is another kind of common way to do that. I for PowerPoint, I would stay away from auto saving for sure, because you want to basically be able to undo what you just did, and then you can close it. So let's go file close, and we can open it now. So if we go file and we go open, um, where my recent, I mean, it's right there. Okay, well, this might have. Oh no, I'm on recent. Yeah, recent. These are the recents. Okay, good deal. So I'm going to click on recent, and now I'm back. Again, similar to Word, and and of course, it's basically saying you can certainly edit text and stuff as you go on in your life. Placing text in an existing slide when you need to correct a word or phrase, you can replace it. Is it going to give us an example? Maybe not. But oops. Trying to think how that would have been done here. But anyway, well, yeah, you just basically select a type over it. Yeah, okay. And deleting, you just select and you can hit delete. To delete the text in a placeholder. What's it different? I think we're just giving an example here. I don't think we're actually doing it. Okay, well, maybe we are. Strong passwords. That's over here, right? So different. Okay, all right. So we're going to change unique. Wonderful. Okay, so I guess that's how I would do that. Sure, wonderful. Changing theme colors. So every theme's got 10 colors. You can, in theory, actually change those. Let's go to design theme, and where are they going here? The more button. Let's just show all of them. Point to the colors. Okay. Yeah, that's just view over for a minute there. Okay, good deal. Let's scroll down. All right, what are you talking about now? So, design, I click on the more. I don't actually see the ability to change these colors. And, I'm fine with that. So I don't know what's going on there. I'm just going to ignore it. Adding notes. Now that's kind of cool. So here's the deal with the PowerPoint presentation. So we haven't done this yet. I'm waiting for them to do it. I guess we're not going to do it yet, but obviously, when I click on the either slideshow or F5, right, that's when it starts to basically give me this nice little full screen show. I was at the end. There you go. Okay. By the way, navigating, I'm sure they're going to show us this, but spacebar navigates forward, backspace navigates back. If you ever need to get out, you can hit escape, and that basically brings you out. F5 will also bring you back. So keep that in mind. But you can also add notes. I can say, for example, or do I want an example? Are you going to say anything? Yeah. Okay. So the notes pane, common passwords are. So I think, what slide are we on for this? We are on, what slide do we now? Slide 3. So sometimes what you want is you want notes for yourself. You want notes for yourself. So you can basically put text in here. So when you're presenting, either sometimes on the screen, because you might have a slightly different look at the screen, or sometimes when you print it out, you can actually see notes. And it's more or less just to remind you what you want to talk about when you're looking at a slide. A lot of the instruction ones have that too. So okay, on this guy here, it wants me to do a whole bunch of these. So let's just do that. Copy, and I'm going to put that text in there. Wonderful. And go. And now spelling. All right, good deal. So we're finally going to catch some of the spelling mistakes, I'm hoping. So, uh, good. So this is your normal spelling thing, like ignore once, ignore all, add, change all. Are you going to say how we're going to do it? Is that what you're going to? Yes, you are. Okay, good. So we're going to go on review and spelling right there. Yep. Just like in the others. So I'm going to click on the go button, and it's got symbol, so it's figured out the symbol thing. And what do you want me to do? So you didn't find common, I'm noticing. Okay, well, you know what? I'm just going to say, hey, go ahead and change it. So you did not find common. You did not find common, you silly monkey. Okay, well, I don't know. I don't know, man. Maybe because it was uppercase. But, you know, this is why human beings exist. All right. Now, it also talks a little bit about properties, and I'm just going to ignore that for now. And then changing views. So I kind of started showing you already the idea of like, this is the normal view. I've shown you now the presenter view, right? Which is typically the way you present the thing. What else are you going to talk about here? Are you going to and you're going to do what? Change views from where? Yeah. So you're talking about basically going to the bottom, which is what I did. And that's just do this too. So here, basically, this is a smaller version of all your slides. Reading view, which I've never used. So there you go. That's a nice one too. And yeah, they're kind of showing you how to navigate, with full screen, end show. Remember that F5 and escape are your friends for this more than trying to bring up a menu. Okay, and I already talked about presenting. I should have said, by the way, up here, slideshow. That's another way to do this as well. We may or may not get into these topics. This is kind of okay. Not now, please. We may get to these topics, but we'll see. It's really important for you to just sort of, get comfortable with this. I also said, by the way, space bar. I should point out, I believe arrows work, and I believe also page up. Yeah, page up, page down works. End will go to the end of the PowerPoint presentation. Home will go to the beginning of the PowerPoint presentation. I started teaching corporately in 2008, and so I really got pretty familiar with these things. Okay, if you want to save by a different name, sure. You guys know how to do this now because you're experts. You've done this so many times in other things. So we're going to change this to SC PPT 1 and then security. All right. Let's go save and okay. So now printing. So to print full page slides, file. Okay. And we go print. Oh boy. And this might be a problem on my end. Okay. Thank goodness. My printer's been giving me some grief, and I was wondering if this was going to be a problem, but it's not. Thank goodness. Okay. So a couple things. So, I'm just going to talk about this. So I'll see if it gets covered in other ways. Obviously, you can print the current slide or a range of slides, just like you can print a current page, arrange your pages, or print the whole thing. You can print full page, right? Or you can print notes. At this point, by the way, if I was to go and look, I'll start seeing those notes that I put in, earlier. Also, by the way, I only have a black and white printer, but you can do it color. It would be important though, if you don't really need color, then maybe you don't need color. Like this is if you're printing it out for clients and things, great. If you're printing it out for yourself because you want to go over it for a demonstration, you might just want to make it black and white. And then the other thing to pay attention to is do you want it on one side or both sides, right? If you want to save paper. Okay, so I think that's about all I wanted to say there with that. And then, yeah, right. So, and I just talked about the handout view. And that's a good point. So, okay, print that. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There? Yeah, notes pages. So, um, so by default, right, it's going to want to print the whole thing. So, what your choices are, if you're going to do handouts, you can basically do like 2 images per page, or like 3, and then have areas for you to write notes. I don't think you see your notes. Yeah, you won't see your own notes, by the way. So a lot of instructors do that as well. They kind of print, they write, make sure you talk about this, make sure you talk about that kind of thing. All right. And of course, these things can be printed as PDFs. That's another way to give these things out. All right. And so, yeah, sure, good. And changing print color. So, of course, you can change it to color or some kind of grayscale. Great. And now we're at the end. So, we're talking about the help. And like all the other tools, I'm going to tell you the help is kind of important if you want to basically deal with spelling, for example. So you can basically click on this and it'll take you it'll either do it or take you where you need to go. All right, that was a pretty long one, and I'm sorry about that. So we'll see what the next one's going to do. But yeah, that's a pretty decent introduction to the fabulous world of PowerPoint.